I sit here, right here, with the sensation that is the GoGirl superhero known as Jennifer Murphy. I'm sure you may recognize her from her viral video that we'll get into in just a little bit. But know this, she is also an entrepreneur, an actress, former beauty pageant contestant, host and judge, TV personality, director, and now she sits here with us. Now, for an exclusive interview, I gotta know, what don't you do?
Well, thank you for that awesome introduction. I also am like a janitor and a book, accounting person. I've had to wear a lot of hats with this movie project. So I've always done a lot, and then I had to learn how to do even more. But I'm sure there's a few things I don't do. So thank you for having me on your show, Dr. T. I love your episodes. You're so much fun, and fun is what I love to do.
Well, fun is what I love to permit on the Dr. T Show. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun right here in the Dr. T Show office, wherever it is this time. I'm anxious to get into it, but we have to take steps. We have to take steps so we get into the meat, the juice.
Yeah, unpeel the onion.
I wanted to know, so you got, for acting wise, on your IMDb, or maybe I did my research, I don't know, you got CSI, you got The Apprentice. What are some of your other appearances that you've made in the past?
Guys, you know what? I might do it. I might be a ninja soon.
I was in this short film, Someone to Love. This was the very first role I ever got. It was the first audition I took, and it was after I had taken a couple years of acting school. This was after I'd been in business and on The Apprentice, and I really wanted to do acting. But I took my time before going to my first audition. And when I went to this audition and she hired me on the spot for the lead, it was so cool. And I thought, oh my goodness, I might actually become an actress. And then she heard some of my music and she said, would you want to create the theme piece for Someone to Love? And so I wrote a song called Someone to Love, recorded it. And so that's how I got my beginning in acting. And it just took off from there. But over time, I realized I didn't really love everything about LA and the way that, you have to go through this process of going through so many no's to find a yes. And so often you're not right. And you get all these parking tickets because you're in line forever. And so finally I thought, I'm going to do it my way. So I left LA, and that's another story.
Well, that still sounds like a very successful story. Some people go through so many noses to get a yes in Hollywood. I love that. What swayed you into selling beds? What is a Murphy bed? I've wanted to know for a while now.
Well, being second to the oldest of 12 kids, and sometimes having to be packed like sardines into very small spaces before my dad built our new house, which took until I was about 14, 15 years old. I helped him build that house, and it was a great memory. But it took us a while to get to that point, and 10 kids in a mobile home. We had triple bunk beds and kids sleeping on the couch. And so when I learned about Murphy beds several years after that, and I saw one at an event, like a sales venue, and I see this bed come down off the wall, and then you just close it up, and during the day you have all of this extra space. I thought, that's pretty cool. And so after I was on The Apprentice, I thought, what if I do Jennifer Murphy beds and come out with my own line? And so that was a seed in my mind, and I bought the domain name Jennifer Murphy Beds years ago. And it took a while. I was working on this and doing GoGirl Worldwide and doing my YouTube, and it took until I met these guys who had their own Murphy bed wall manufacturing company, and they had a whole line of stores, wall bed and more stores. They had about 23 locations. And I go, wall beds and more? That's kind of bland. I go, what about Jennifer Murphy beds? I'll be your Vanna White. I'll be your Kathy Ireland spokesperson, and I'll do the marketing, and you can give me commission, and that'll help me be able to scale GoGirl Worldwide, which at the time I started it with doing seminars and entertainment and music and education to empower girls and women, but I needed funding. So that's how I got into the Murphy bed thing.
Well, let me use that to transition into the hot topic. What we all want to know. The exclusive.
Dr. T exclusive.
I want to be ninja. I want to be ninja. I want to chop, chop.
The I Want To Be Neenja video.
Down to Chinatown.
How did it all begin? I want to hear the origin story. I want to know what the thought process went into writing, what went into filming it. What was going on when you filmed the initial viral video?
Well, it does seem from the outside looking in, how random is this crazy cuckoo blonde airhead that's performing this song with an Asian accent? Like, what the heck? And, you know, when I performed it that night, I didn't mean to just confuse people. My goal wasn't to have like all white people and one Asian girl right there, right in the camera angle. It just was, I mean, talk about a case of Murphy's Law. They say everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And this was Murphy's Law at first. And fortunately, it turned into a wonderful thing, but it didn't start that way. But the backstory, I'll just share a little bit because I don't want to take up all of our time. And you have to watch my movie to find out the full backstory and what happened after everything went down. But I started YouTube videos after I started GoGirl Worldwide in 2008. I thought, oh, this new thing called YouTube, it's so fun and people can make their own content. I had already left LA and I loved this opportunity for me to make my own content and goofy, funny, but with positive messages. And I always loved ninjas. And I was doing marketing videos for other companies that saw how my videos would get a lot of views. And they said, we'll hire you. And so I started making videos and marketing commercials for other companies. And one of the companies said, hey, can you do a video where you're yourself, like you're GoGirl, you're the superhero spreading smiles. I wear a pink, superhero cape and all of that. My character evolved over time after I started making the YouTube videos. They said, but we want a villain, and the villain is trying to sabotage our company, and you're going to save the day. And I'm like, who could a villain be? Like, And then my friend, Peter, who impersonates Mr. Chow off The Hangover, he said, Jen, would you write me into one of your videos? I love acting and goofing around, and I can impersonate Mr. Chow really well, the accent. So I thought, what if he's the villain and he's a ninja and I'm combating him, but part of me combating him is to become a ninja myself. And I think part of becoming a ninja like him is to sound like him.
I finally ninja.
And so I start writing this, and then this company, they go, you know what? We've decided to go a different route, B2B instead of to consumer. We don't need this one. We just need more bland, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dang it. I liked that concept. And so I decided I'm going to turn it into a song and a music video because it's already this whole beginning, middle, and end and really fun arc. And I've been practicing my ninja moves and the accent. So I wrote the song and went to the studio and we put it together, a small group of us. Dennis Woodard, my producer, and my sister was there to give ideas. And we had a great little, we were starting on the ideas. I already had the lyrics, but we needed the hook. We needed the chorus, the earworm. And all of a sudden it hit me. I go, that's it. I want to be ninja. I want to be ninja. I want to chop, chop, chop chow down, take chow down to Chinatown. And they were like, that's brilliant, Jen. That's it. I'm like, it is. So we go in there and we start laying it down. And then it was right around the same time I'm launching Jennifer Murphy beds at my very first store. And we're going to do the whole rollout after that. But this is like the pink carpet party. And so that's how it went down. And I was planning to do the whole music video where it really puts it into context. You see, I'm really making fun of myself. It's kind of like Michael Scott on The Office. Like, it's intentional cringe. He's trying to be a good guy, but he's so, but they know he's coming from the right spot, the right place. So, but I thought, okay, I want to just put it on the internet just to like feel it out, see what my followers think, because I'm excited about it. And it was kind of a sleeper for a couple months, and oh, we like it, cute, fun. Love the accent. And then I'm making these big commission checks with Jennifer Murphy bed sales, like going like hotcakes online and at the store. And we're getting ready to launch the next one near San Francisco, and then the next and the next. And I'm thinking, I'm going to become a multimillionaire and really be able to scale my GoGirl company. And then the phones start ringing, and the emails, and the haters, and the attacks, and it just all went downhill from there.
So, Chow's not a real guy?
Well, Chow,
No competition?
Chow, he is real because we all have our real villains in life. And for me, I had all of these challenges and all of these, bad people or even my own self-doubt. And I started funneling it into a character called Chow. And so Chow for me became very real. Just like for me, as I started getting back on my feet more in life after going through downs and ups, and I started wearing this pink cape all the time and started driving a kid's Barbie Jeep. And I truly started becoming GoGirl and my own mascot. And somebody that was working with me says, Jen, you're not actually GoGirl, you're Jennifer Murphy. And I said, okay, maybe my birth certificate doesn't say GoGirl, but I am GoGirl. I am. And so for me, Chow has become a real character. He's not a real, you can't find Chow on the guy that plays Chow in my movie, his name's Lambo Lee, and he's awesome. And I can't wait for you to see him in my movie. He's so likable and cute that it makes it funny that he's this villain and he's like this Asian Grinch that can't stand GoGirl and smiles being spread. And but he does such a great job that he really does embody Chow in a fun way. And I think he can represent any of our Chows in life. And I think it's fun to have kind of this villain that we can all say, okay, here's Chow, but ultimately love is going to overcome evil. So that's what the true story about I Want To Be Neenja is all about.
Exclusive.
Well, you know what you got to do the next movie? You got to team up with Chow to fight the trolls or something. The trolls from the internet or something. Because all of the sequels, they always the first movie, you get the good guy, the bad guy, they go together. Second movie, they team up to fight an even bigger one. That's the way you gotta go.
I'm not going to give away the end of the movie, but let's say that could end up being a good, next step. I do have some ideas for the second movie and for a whole trilogy and potentially an ongoing series.
When it came to the I Want To Be Neenja, how did you think the internet was going to respond? Did you think they would come at you, or do you think everyone would be like rocking it on Spotify the next day?
I hope that my followers liked it, and I hope that it could get more exposure than that, but I didn't know what to expect. I thought people would like it. I thought that especially when they saw the music video, they'd think it was cute and hilarious, and but I did not think I was going to get so much hate. I thought maybe 1 out of 200 people might be fake offended, or a couple people might think it's stupid or whatever. But I didn't realize it was going to get that initial heat, which in hindsight, it was a blessing that this guy on Reddit came across the song and he wrote this blog, and the headline is, I'm trying to remember. It's like white racist girl sings Asian hating song, Murphy bed heiress, white privilege, rich, blah, 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 blah. And but at the very end, he says, but I don't think it's racist, really. And I just but everybody read the headlines, and other newspapers and media, they would just take that headline and that story and reword it. And without even watching the song or learning anything about who I was. So a lot of people just jumped on the bandwagon, but it made it go viral. And then most people, it was like, I only got maybe one hater out of 100. And, at this point, every day I get between 500 and 5,000 views an hour on my YouTube video of the song, of the original performance. And people love it for the most part. Every once in a while, somebody's like, this is just so bad. You should be ashamed. Where do you live? I'm gonna come do some ninja moves on you. And but you know what? They keep it interesting. They keep it fun. So bring it, haters.
I definitely saw some podcasts. That's where I saw you too. I saw it, and it's
Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, and Bobby was not too bad. At first he was like, I don't see what the problem is, but then Andrew, who's a white redhead, kept laying into me, this is terrible. You can't do the accent, Jen. You're not a real comedian like us. I'm going to draw the line in the sand. And it's like, what the heck? You've built your career on accents, including a lot of Asian accents all the time. And all of a sudden, I'm wrong for doing it. I'm so wrong. His fans even called him out as such a hypocrite. And hopefully one of these days he'll apologize to me, or maybe we're just going to have to get into an all-out sword fight. But that was ridiculous. And I think it was at a time when so many comedians like them were getting heat and getting like risks of being canceled because they had made so many racist type or racial type jokes and skits. And so they thought, well, if we call her out, we're going to look like we're the good guys and we're trying to offend and defend Asians. So it's really ridiculous. I was on Adam Carolla not long ago and I talked to him about it and I go, they were hypocrites. That's baloney. So whatevs.
Maybe you could even get him to be the villain for the sequel. Who knows? Just tossing it out there, little show.
I think Bobby Lee it would be so funny if Bobby Lee and I are like in this dojo at one at each end and he's just looking at me and I'm looking at him and we just like start just, charging each other and then who knows what happens. But
Bobby Lee, come on.
Yeah, Bobby Lee. I forgive them. It's okay.
I shut my Murphy bed, sat down to scratch my head. What could this day bring? It could be anything.
Where can we watch the Ninja movie right now? Where can we go see it?
Right now, you can watch I Want To Be Neenja, the movie, on my website, which is iwanttobeeneenja.com. And you can use code GoGirl to get 10% off. And you can watch it right there on a page on my website, which you can watch on your smartphone, your laptop. You can mirror it to your smart TV, any device. There's also an option right there where you can buy it on Vimeo. So on my website, you go to buy the movie and it gives you that option as well if you want to go straight to Vimeo. You could go straight to vimeo.com and you'll see it's available on video on demand. You can either rent it there for $5.99 or buy it for $9.99. And then it'll be out on a lot of other platforms really soon. But don't wait, watch it now.
Hire her, the GoGirl herself, to present or host your next event by reaching out to www.jennifermurphy.com. Find out more of her on jennifermurphy.com and follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Jennifer Murphy GoGirl. Tell me,
got it. And I'd love to perform at your next event or speak, or, I have so many topics I'd love to talk about. Dr. T, it's been so much fun being on your show. Thank you so much. And I want to just tell everybody out there watching, never give up on your dreams. Be a ninja, be stealthy, be nimble, and learn those moves, and you can do it.
Tell me, GoGirl, what's good?
I'm the true GoGirl, and all of you can be ninjas like me, but make sure you tune in to Dr. T and get on his show. You can be ninja too. Hi, yeah.
Yeah.